Hello and welcome back, or welcome in if you are new. Hi, my name is Heather. This is my channel. This video is going to be about these spectacular devices that I have to show you right now. I guess technically it's been longer than a month for both of these, but for the sake of the video and making it as simple as I can make it, I'm just gonna say 1 month later. And technically it wouldn't even be that much different anyway if it was 2 months, 3 months. Unless something really bad happens to either of these devices. That would be out of my control anyway, unless I did it myself. I actually almost dropped my MacBook trying to clean it, so that could have been a total freaking disaster. But luckily, it is fine. She still works. That's great. Yeah, so let's get into it then, shall we? Yes, I have notes. So if I'm looking down all the time, it's because of these notes. I'm trying not to though. I'm trying to look at you instead of at myself or something. Anyways, okay, so let's start off with the MacBook Pro M4. Okay, I will put all the stuff on the screen somewhere because right now I don't even really remember any of it. But this one is the 1 terabyte version. So with that out of the way, I guess probably I will start off with the cons. Not enough storage space. Yeah, that is partly my fault, but not really, because I also don't want to spend an exorbitant amount of money for something that doesn't need to cost that much, okay? I'm sorry, but it's just not gonna happen. Yes, ideally, I would have appreciated at least 2 terabytes of storage instead of 1, because just alone from editing, it goes fast. It just gets sucked up and then you have to either move things or delete things. Luckily, you can get around that if you just get an external SSD, or I guess you could get a USB, but I got an SSD and that thing is amazing. Maybe I should get it actually. Okay, we got the SSD. This thing is a lifesaver, and I got a terabyte of this. So technically I have 2 terabytes. I guess probably the only major problem with it, honestly, is that you just have to do a little extra work to get more space, which isn't the end of the world. You really just have to transfer the files to the SSD, so it's not that bad. So SSD all the way. Okay, next one. Just in general, this thing is expensive. Switching to the Mac ecosystem was definitely an investment. It was a good investment, and I'm glad that I did it. It's not cheap. It's basically like buying a used car, you know? It's a lot, which is fine. It's fine. Because the way I see it is if you can get like solid 4 years of use out of this, it's a win-win. And I think that is probably what will happen with me. I am not going to be like one of those people who upgrade every year, because that's just, honestly, that's a lot of work, and I hate selling electronics. I despise selling electronics because people want to get it basically for free. And sorry, but what's the point in that? I might as well just get the most amount of years out of this that I can for how much it was. So that is probably the biggest con of owning this MacBook. Ooh, my glasses are filthy. Awesome. Okay, so this thing is very expensive compared to other laptops that have just as much storage and all the good stuff, all the power and stuff. You're definitely paying way more for this than if you were to go with an Acer or an Asus. Apparently it's called Asus, even though I would rather just call it Asus. Anyways, or even a Dell. It's a lot, but I can understand why it's a lot when I get into the pros section. But yeah, I think that if you're not totally set on a MacBook, then you can definitely get just as good, if not even better, than this MacBook. I also think though, if you have an M3, you definitely don't need this, or an M1. I think maybe only one person asked me in the comments of this video, of the M4, fingerprints. Here's the thing with fingerprints. Unless you don't plan on using your device, sure, you will not have fingerprints. But if your hands are oily, or they have lotion on them, or you're just, you know, a human, you're gonna get fingerprints. So it's kind of like, if you use it, it's gonna show that you're using it, but I feel like it's not terrible. Unless you're like a clean freak and you just hate fingerprints, then maybe putting on like a skin or some sort of case or something. Although I don't know if I recommend metal cases. I've heard that they can ruin your MacBook and kind of, you know, mess things up with how it folds and everything. I don't know, I've never owned a case for this, so I can't say for sure if that is true or not, because I have a sleeve and I think the sleeve works best for me. But anyways, to each their own. I think that if you're like really concerned with fingerprints, then I guess putting a skin on your MacBook would be the best solution for that. I don't personally care because I'm apparently a dirty person. Okay, now that the cat has left my laptop, I can finally start talking about the pros. The pros! Okay, probably the biggest pro is how pretty this laptop is. Okay, I'm joking. That's not the most important, but it is really well made and the best made laptop I have ever owned. Comparing this to my previous laptop, the Microsoft Studio, I always get mixed up. Okay, it's the Microsoft Surface Studio 2-in-1. That thing, while it was a pretty decent laptop, it was definitely not nearly as nice as this. And that's saying a lot because that one you could actually draw on. That's what I did. That was actually the reason why I liked it so much and bought it. But comparing this to that laptop, this is a powerhouse. That one, if you didn't have it plugged in all the time, it was dead within a couple of hours. And I don't know about you, but having to keep it plugged in all the time kind of defeats the whole purpose of it being a laptop, in my opinion. That is all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, so the MacBook Pro M4 can pretty much do anything that you throw at it. At least mine can. I think if you're going with the base model, it might be a different story, but for mine, it will pretty much handle anything with ease, whether that be editing footage like YouTube or Photoshop or playing games even though I didn't really want to play games on this. I'm saving that for the iMac, which you would think, well, the iMac doesn't really have nearly as much power as this, but I have more storage on this. Oh, please don't come up here again, Lulu. Ah, yes, this device is, in my opinion, amazing. It's pretty much exactly the same as when I first used it. I will say that now that I have used this, it's really kind of difficult to go back to a Microsoft Windows computer, literally just because of the mouse. Well, I guess the mouse on the iMac anyway. It's not that big of a difference, but it is somewhat of a difference. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about the MacBook Pro M4 that I have here. It's a computer. It pretty much will do what you want it to do, as long as you don't drop it or, you know, as long as you're not going to spill your drink all over your computer, I think it'll be fine. And especially the one that I have, I'm definitely gonna get the most amount of years out of this because I went with such a high memory. I think that's what it is. If you haven't already noticed, I am not like a super professional tech reviewer. So what I say is pretty much just the average user, aka me. Anyways, yeah, basically it's awesome, and I think that if you can get one, get one. Just don't, oh gosh. Anyways, that was my cat. Yeah, just don't spend a lot of money on storage if you don't need to, because SSD is your best friend. Okay, now that that is done with, let's move on to the iMac. Okay, so let's start with the pros. I don't know about you, but probably the biggest pro of the iMac are how beautiful they are and that they come in several different colors. For me, it was at first kind of a hard choice between the pink that you see here and the purple. But after watching a lot of unboxings of the purple, I have realized that it was not the kind of purple that I love, because I love lavender, which is my favorite color, and that purple was kind of more like a pearl, like it was kind of muted and not really what I wanted. So I decided to go with the pink, and I'm glad that I did, because I know I definitely would have regretted getting the purple because of how beautiful this pink is. And I think I kind of wish that my desk setup would showcase the pink a little bit more, because right now it is behind, facing a corner when it should be facing me. But yeah, it's beautiful. Everything just goes so well together too. Like even like the braided cord in the back, it's the light baby pink. It's so pretty. The accessory cord, that's also pink. And the mouse is pink on the bottom. And it also has something attached to it. Don't know what that is. And then also the keyboard also has pink. Although it doesn't have pink on the back. It's just white. Oh, I just turned on the thing. I actually didn't even bother changing the screensaver because it's pink. I will eventually, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to. But yeah, it's white on the back, which is kind of, I don't really know why they did that, to be honest, because the mouse is all pink on the bottom. I guess, maybe I think I do know, because you still have to charge it upside down. So I guess they wanted the pink to show when you charged it, which I really kind of dislike that. Like, why did they do this? This is a con for sure. The fact that you can't even use it while it's being charged. Like, what is that? I don't know. Please fix this. As a general average user, that is poor design of that mouse. It's like the same design of the first gen Apple Pencil with the iPad. I'm not gonna get into that. But anyways, mine is the nano texture, and it's amazing. Just how pretty it is, and the fact that it is reducing the amount of glare that you get, it is beautiful. Comparing it to the just regular glass display, I will say that it is a different feel to it. It's not like crazy different, but there is still a difference between just the plain display and the nano texture. So yeah, if they still continue to have the nano texture, which I feel like they probably will, always get it or don't. It kind of depends on, I guess, what you want in your device. Yeah, it just depends on your priorities, I guess. If you want like those deep, dark blacks, or if you don't care as much, it's hard to say. I like both of them. I'm glad that I got the nano texture just to see the difference, and also because I've never seen it before. And it's a really good feature. I actually did test out, because I really wanted to know what it felt like to use the Apple Pencil on the nano texture. And I get it. It's definitely not as toothy as, like, say, a paper-like screen protector, but it still feels different. For some people, it might not be enough to justify the price because it is an added cost. And it's not available on every model, which kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I think it should be available on all of them, but for some reason it's not. It's only available on more expensive ones. Go figure. And on top of that, it's more money. So you be the judge on that. But coming from somebody who likes to draw, I will say that it could be worth it. It's an all-in-one. That's cool. Basically like a giant iPad on a stand. That's amazing. And this is a whole computer, you know? If you want to save space, this is it. This all-in-one is the way to go. Now, I will say that if you need more power, this is probably not going to be the computer that you want because it only goes up to a certain amount. I will again put all the specs on the screen, probably on the iMac screen, so that you know, because I don't remember and I'm an idiot, so. But anyways though, a little tip. I don't know if this is available in every country, but I know that you can do it in Canada. You can just go through their education store and you get a discount. It's not like a super crazy discount, I wish, but it is still a discount. So you can save money doing that. So that's fun. That's a good thing. Let's talk about the cons. Okay, this I guess technically applies to both of these. And I think it's a me problem. I don't think it's just in general sucks problem. I think it's just my finger sucks problem. The Touch ID. For some reason, it does not work for me. Also, I apologize if the lighting is slightly different. It's winter. So yeah, I only have so much time to film, unfortunately. But hopefully it's okay. I guess I'll find out when I edit. But yeah, the Touch ID, when I first set it up, it worked once. And then after that, it just does not work. I Googled it and I guess if either the Touch ID is dirty or your finger is dirty, it won't work. I could probably redo it and it might work then. I haven't done it yet. That's just a future me problem that I'll have to sort out, I guess. But in terms of functionality, it does work well when it has worked. I think it's just really finicky, honestly. So that is just, it's more of a inconvenience than a total con, because you can just punch in your password and then it works. It's nice to just, you know, touch your finger and it unlocks, you know? It's a nice feature. I appreciate it. Although I think I do like Face ID a little bit better, but we don't have that on these for some reason. I don't know why. Let's move on to the next con. Next con would probably be the fact that you just don't get that many Thunderbolt 4 ports. In the base model, you only get two, okay? Currently, I have the 2 terabyte one, which also comes with 4, and I even think 4 is not enough. Like, I would want double that, or at least 2 more anyway. And another thing, all the ports are on one side. I kind of wish that they had us split them up on both sides so that, like, if you have things you have to plug in on the right or on the left, then I feel like it'd be a little bit easier to do that, especially if the cord is not long enough. That's probably a big problem. Not really a problem for me because all my cords are pretty long, but for some people it might be a problem. Also, the fact that there are only Thunderbolt 4 ports, I kind of wish there was a USB-A, if I'm being honest. But that is never gonna happen. They're never gonna put a USB-A port behind this because it just, well, for starters, it's such a big port, and I feel like as the years go on, there will be less and less USB-A ports put into devices. So it makes sense that they only have Thunderbolt 4s or USB-C. So yeah, there's that. Let's talk about the worst con of this device. For me, anyway, I can't play Coral Island. I was so disappointed when I found that out, but it would have been so amazing to play Coral Island on this because it's pink and I feel like it just would be everything, but it's not. And oh well, that's pretty much the only con that I have for it, aside from the other ones that I've just said. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Having these devices for 1 month, well, over 1 month. Yeah, it's cool. I have a lot of options. For the iMac, I primarily just want to focus on, I guess, The Sims. Thank God The Sims works on this because I would be so sad if The Sims 4 didn't work on it. It would just be like, what? Why? So that's a good thing. And also Stardew Valley works on it too. So that's a plus. I am not like a heavy gamer or anything, so I'm okay with having like 2 games that I can play on this. Or Unpacking. I forgot about that game. That's also a really cute game. Okay, so that is pretty much this video. Do I regret anything? I don't think so. I think that they pretty much live up to expectations. I would say probably the biggest difference between Microsoft and Mac OS is just the ease of use. Like I find that because I'm officially pro Apple girly. If you know how to use an iPhone, it's pretty similar. Like I was kind of surprised how easy it is to use. And honestly, if you don't know how to use something, you could just Google it. So there's that. And you can find everything that you need. It's relatively easy to do. Yeah, everything's good. Everything works. I did have a few issues when I was editing on Final Cut Pro. It sometimes randomly closes. It doesn't happen that often, so good thing for that. And yeah, I almost encountered a really terrible incident where I think I was editing my iMac video and Final Cut Pro randomly closed, and I'm like, oh no. I quickly got it back on and I could not find my project. And I was like, what the heck? I thought I had to start all over, honestly. And I was just about to. And then I decided, maybe if I shut down the computer, wait 5 minutes, and then turn it back on, it'll be there. And sure enough, it was. So I didn't lose my project. It just was hidden for a little bit. But all is good. It got posted. I think I did an okay job at it. Yeah, that's just a little glitch, I guess. I feel like anything that you buy, regardless of what brand it is, it will always have little glitches or things that you don't like about it. Nothing is perfect. I mean, coming from a Microsoft to this, I think overall it's much better, but Microsoft still has the upper hand in a lot of ways, except for usability. I feel like Mac just makes it easier. I think that's probably the best way I can describe it. So yeah, if you're in the market for any of these devices, I think you'll really enjoy them. I think that they are amazing and they work. They just do what you want them to do for the most part. Yeah, that's all I can say about them. I think I'm gonna call it a day. It's almost nighttime now. Thank you so much for watching. I had fun talking. Now I am going to go eat something because my stomach is growling and it's like, oh, it's 5. Yeah, I'm hungry. Okay, we're gonna end this now. Bye. Oh no, the cat's gonna come. Lulu. Lulu. Or pest. You are ruining my laptop. Now that we have the cons out of the way, let's move on to the pros. I did not finish the cons. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I bought a hair waver, and I think I kind of like it better now that it's kind of like has fallen since I've done it. When I first did it, it looked terrible. So hopefully it doesn't look terrible now. Oh my goodness, I need to move that. Hold on. Lulu! Oh, please don't hurt me. Alrighty. Okay, so. What was I talking about? Okay, yeah. Are you watching the people walk their dog? Oh, you're gonna sit. You're gonna sit. She's sitting. That can't be good. Lulu, can you move? Oh, please don't scratch me. Lulu. Hello. Oh my god, this is gonna take forever to finish. Okay, so anyways,